Okay, we're rolling. Make it a Vinny video night.
Ollie and Scoops, let's
Ollie
go!
and Scoop. Welcome to Movie Goblins, where spoilers are always on the table. I'm Noel Oldick, and across the table from me is...
I'm Satan.
You're Satan.
No, I'm kidding.
You're saying to me in this episode... No, I'm just joking, but...
Wow. I am Lord Takagami of the Demon Ninja Army.
So we watched, in the past 24 hours, we did watch a few movies that we are covering for this episode.
Yes.
The first of which was my pick, Rio Bravo. Released tonight. I wrote up some stuff about this, just to give like a quick intro for context sake, so people can just kind of get an idea of what it's about. Kind of the context, not really what it's about, but more or less like the context of it.
Okay.
And we can get into the plot afterward.
Right.
Released in April of 1959. Rio Bravo has an all-star cast of John Wayne, Dean Martin, Ricky Nelson, Angie Dickinson, and Walter Brennan. Director Howard Hawks' previous work before helming Rio Bravo includes Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, starring Marilyn Monroe, and The Big Sky, starring Kirk Douglas. He would follow up Rio Bravo with another John Wayne vehicle, Hatari. Rio Bravo opened to mixed reviews, the worst of which criticized its length and tone, but the film nevertheless was a box office smash hit for Warner Brothers, enough to warrant John Wayne to continue as an enduring American film icon. The film is about it's about this very small town in Texas, in the kind of Western times, like 1800s, you know, and a guy who's the brother. Joe Burdett murders a man.
Just some guy.
Just some nameless guy in a bar. And he is arrested by the sheriff, played by John T. Chance, played by John Wayne, and is put inside the jailhouse to await a trial and execution, to pretty much wait to hang. And he is assisted by the drunkard dude, played by Dean Martin, who... The Rat Pack, yeah. And eventually Colorado, played by the young Colorado, played by Ricky Nelson.
And
Stumpy, played by Walter Brennan, the toothless Walter Brennan, who's awesome. He's like my favorite character in this movie.
Absolutely.
Yes. And as well as being assisted by pretty much a foil sort of in the film is Feathers, played by the amazing Angie Dickinson, who I was introduced to in her later years in Dress to Kill, which is like a Brian De Palma film, where she kind of plays like a Janet Leigh type character. Okay. But yeah, it's just like them holding up, trying to like, because there's like people like planted inside the town, pretty much like watching them constantly, due to like the fact that the Joe Burdett's brother is
rich.
Yeah, he's rich and he wants to get his brother out, so by any means necessary. So he hires these guys to try and get him out.
Assassins, gunmen, cowboys, anybody really.
Yeah, lots of action ensues and lots of talking ensues.
More the latter.
Yeah, lots of downtime ensues.
Right.
Ben, what did you think of the Rio Bravo?
So welcome back. I think this was my first ever John Wayne film.
Yeah.
Ever. I mean, we all know John Wayne, Pilgrim or whatever the hell.
The true American movie star.
And I remember like asking my dad, like, "Hey, can we watch like the first True Grit, like with John Wayne?" He's like, "No." Like, why? Because John Wayne sucks. It's like, oh, geez. So you said, let's watch Rio Bravo. I was like, that's one Quentin Tarantino likes. And we watched it, and I thought it was good. Cause I this is like I had no. I mean, I knew the plot.
Yeah.
It's a very basic plot.
Yeah.
Guys have guy in jail. Guys try to get him out.
So much so that the director mimicked that same
two more times
in El Dorado and Rio Lobo, and then it was remade technically in Assault on Precinct 13,
which was in our first episode.
Night of the Living Dead, yeah.
Sort of.
Well, it's different enough where it's like, you know, it's different, but it's like it just shows to show that like the plot is very, you know, it's very feasible and very malleable, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but I did like, you were like wondering like why did Quentin Tarantino like this movie so much? And
well, it's it just doesn't seem like his thing. I guess. I mean, it looks
Well,
gorgeous.
he loves Hawks. He loves Howard Hawks.
Yeah, I mean, most of the greats nowadays like Howard, but like, it's gorgeous. It's shot beautifully, great color. The score is great.
The score is amazing.
Everyone gives a great performance except John Wayne.
Except, yeah, I said in my my earliest Letterboxd review that the least interesting thing about any John Wayne movie is John Wayne himself.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But actually, during this movie, like, there's a scene where he's talking with Feathers. By the way, I did not know that was the character's name until after. He's like, but what about Feathers? Like, who the fuck is Feathers? It's like, that's the girl. It's like, her name is Feather, or whatever. But anyway, but I remember we were watching a scene with them talking at a bar. They're walking through the bar, and I like mumbled like, everyone is great. Like John Wayne, no, like what I said, it was like John Wayne
doesn't like emote.
But it was like everyone is giving a great performance except for John Wayne.
That's pretty much what you said. Yeah.
And you pat me like, that's it. That's exactly how it's like. Okay, I hit him because he does not emote at all. Stephen Wright playing the radio in Reservoir Dogs shows more emotion than he does.
Super sounds of the 70s.
Yeah, like the guy who sounds like he's fucking high on acid sounds more emoting. Oh yeah, my friend's a drunkard. Well, fuck him. He needs to man up. Fuck that bitch.
And I think the reason why Quentin Tarantino likes this movie so much is less on the technical side. It's like there's lots of technical things to admire about this movie, and performances and stuff like that. But I feel like what taps into like why he's so sentimental about this movie particularly is because he grew up without a father figure, and Howard Hawks was notable for having these very stoic, pretty much man's man, Man. So pretty much like,
but
he was
nice
raised,
man's man.
Yeah,
he's like an honorable
man's man. Yeah,
he's not like, oh, give me a sandwich, woman.
Yeah, he's like it was the top regard of like what a man should be, and that was basically what he was raised by.
Right.
So in a sense, Howard Hawks provide father figures for Quentin Tarantino where he didn't have any in real life. So that's partially the reason why he's so attached to this movie, I believe. Okay. Because John T. Chance is like that. He's someone to look up to, Right. Yeah.
So when you first told me about this film, you were like, oh man, it was like the inspiration for like Assault on Precinct 13, Night of the Living Dead, something else you said. You said some other movie, right? Didn't you say?
No, it was primarily those two.
Right, but I was like, oh, so it's gonna be like them holed up at this small building, and they're gonna no, it's just like, let's go to the bar, let's talk at the bar.
They're holed up in this town, like they're holed up by their responsibility to take this man to jail,
Right, but it's well, from the first moment I met all the main characters, I was like, nobody's gonna die here. No, none of these characters are gonna die.
So you didn't feel like there was any stakes?
I was like, this is cool. Like, after watching, I thought this would be a million times better for me if Duke was the main character. No, not Duke. Dude. If John Wayne,
but the Duke is the main character. No, I'm joking.
If you take out John Wayne and make Dude like the drunk, like,
well, he needs somebody he needs somebody to get him back on the right track.
That's Stumpy.
Like Stumpy is kind of like he's a loyal. He's like a dog, like loyalty.
But he has like a certain inbred wisdom to him. If you because John Wayne does not change throughout the whole movie.
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of the point, though. Is that all the characters have capacity to change, especially Dude, but John Wayne is just that kind of like incomparable, figure.
Yeah, well, like watching the trailer and seeing the poster, like Colorado's not in this movie much at all.
Oh no, he's not.
I was like, well, that's a damn shame.
He shows up in the later half.
I know, but it's like, because I thought it was these three guys who don't really like each other, they come together to save the town. It's like Colorado's like, hey, can I join you? No. Can I join you? No. Can I join you? Okay. that's Colorado's character.
It's like there's a scene.
I love Colorado.
Yeah, Colorado's great. Ricky Nelson is super great in the role. There's one thing we noted was like there was like one scene where it's like Pat Wheeler, his boss, is just like,
who's also great.
Yeah, and he's just like before he kicks the bucket, but But like, he's like, oh, take Colorado with you. He's a crack shot. He's he's young, he's spry, and it's like John Wayne's just like John T. Chance is just like, we don't need him. And, well, it's like actually like he asks him. He's like, well, it's up to him.
No.
And Colorado's just like, well, I mind my own business. And then
no, so it's the boss who's friends with John T. Mm-hmm. He's like, let me and my boys help. It's like a bunch of boys with a nice hearts of gold, but they got families to worry about. They're gonna run away at the first moment. It's like, well, how about me? You're not good shot. You're no good or whatever. And he's like, how about Colorado? He's like, who the fuck's Colorado? I mean, he didn't say that, but and they're like, hey, Colorado, come here. And they're like, hey, what are you doing? Or they ask him something. I don't remember, but he's like, mind your business, bitch. And he goes back and plays cards. And
he's playing cards with feathers, and it's just like, okay. And then Pat Wheeler gets shot for affiliation with. Well, it's like I guess I would say like they thought that he was being in cahoots with John T. Chance.
Just kind of
a little bit, but like it was just like
they shot him.
Just got caught in the crossfire of this whole thing.
Yeah,
and after they get him, which is a great scene by the way, where like
that might be my favorite overall sequence. Like him going in the barn, the blood falling into
his killer. Yeah, and they're looking for the cowboy with muddy boots, And
then they can't find him.
Can't find him.
Dude, you drunk bitch.
And then they like the blood.
He's walking. Well, he's like, I failed. I'm walking to this beer, and then a blood drop falls into like on the beer in the glass.
That's a great visual.
I was like, damn. Yeah. That shit was. I mean, I don't know how I got up there, but damn, that's a good ass visual.
It's great. You go ahead.
It feels like. Well, we should mention that this is kind of a remake of High Noon.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Sort of.
I've neglected to mention that.
So John Wayne and Howard Hawks saw this film called High Noon, which is basically the same basic plot, where like a guy arrests someone and like this whole band of misfits bad guys are gonna come and get him back. But in High Noon, the difference is that the sheriff is basically on his own. Like nobody wants to help him. Like no one's gonna come up.
So he's constantly searching. From what I've read, he's constantly searching for help because I haven't seen High Noon. So
yeah, it's like help me, no. And then I haven't either, so I don't know how it ends. But basically, I think it was a commentary of like the whole like Red Scare. And then John Wayne and Howard Hawks said, "This is bullshit."
They were like, "We're gonna do
this is the most un-American thing.
Most un-American thing ever.
This is an apple pie. This is shit pie. Let me tell you."
It's like a sheriff has to be sure of himself,
Yeah, and he needs like everyone in America loves each other. They help him out as soon as they hear.
And then you should say no because it's not their business.
Yeah. So. Oh yeah, I forgot about it. But then so it's a basic plot, and I guess it's also based on a short story because it said I don't know.
So is Red River. I'm not a huge fan of I'm not as a fan of Red River as I am of Rio Bravo, but it's still pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah. So
it's if you want to see a more unhinged John Wayne,
watch him in real life at the Oscars.
Watch Red River. Oh my god. I feel like there's no heroes in that situation except for Marlon Brando, possibly.
Yeah, because like the lady wasn't Native American.
Yeah.
Or something. I heard that from it.
Yeah, she wasn't Native. She wasn't Native American.
I think she was Hispanic. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
But so Rio Bravo, like I was watching, I was like, this feels like a long episode of like Gunsmoke or something. And I love those old Western shows. Like
Rawhide and the Rifleman.
Oh, Rawhide. Best theme song ever made.
Which,
Rollin', Rawhide.
Actually, yeah. And, speaking of like Hawk stuff and Gunsmoke, James Arness was the Thing in The Thing from Another World.
Oh.
Yeah, before he was in Gunsmoke, yeah.
And I know there's some like Western TV show, like the first episode, John Wayne filmed like a short prologue before it was like, it's me, John Wayne. I couldn't be in this shitty show, but you should watch it. Or something like John
really?
Wayne. Yeah, like the pilot of this one show that got John Wayne to film like a little like opening to it because he was probably on the set of some other Western. It's like, can you just film this shit real quick? Just because people love John Wayne.
Yeah.
Oh, John Wayne likes it, then it's good.
Yeah, it's good.
Apparently. But so Rio Bravo, like there's a great repeating like I guess not a motif. It's like a kind of dialogue where like John Wayne talks to this character. Who's the guy who runs the hotel again? What's his name?
Carlos.
Carlos. Sorry about that. Like, Carlos, she gone? Who's gone? The girl. Yes. Is she? No. Where it's like, it's that like like the conversation, like they keep missing what they're trying to say. I love that kind of dialogue.
Oh yeah, it's great. If you like that kind of dialogue, you should watch some more Hawks movies because
that shit cracks me up.
That is a big staple of his films. Is that quick dialogue and like people getting like lost in translation just by talking to each other too fast. You know.
But that's one saving grace about John Wayne's performance is that him bouncing off other people. And you can clearly see he's annoyed.
It's an ensemble. It's like, he's just like, God damn it! I'm just trying to do my job.
He's like this girl keeps flirting with him. I was like, what?
he's like, I'm a man. This girl gives his profession. You know.
I have never seen anyone give this man doomy eyes more than this girl gives.
More
John
than
Wayne.
Angie Dickinson. Yeah.
Like holy shit. Like
also she's very easy on the eyes too. So.
She's a classic Hawks girl. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think Monroe counts as a Hawks girl. No, she's in like one movie.
I mean, I get, but
yeah, but you know, same with like how like
the strong kind of sassy lady.
Yeah, like Grace Kelly and Janet Leigh and
like,
Tippi Hedren were Hitchcock girls, you know.
Wait, Hitchcock or Hawks?
I was saying like in the same way.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Those actresses were.
Sorry about that. I got confused.
Yeah, it's okay.
But yeah, like I don't. It's just. Like if you cut out like the middle, if you shorten the middle down, I feel like this film would be much better because it just feels like
people just kind of walking.
Okay, he's talking to her in her room. He goes outside, and then this happens, and
it's a very leisurely movie.
It is. It's just the poster and the trailer really make it
a bit more exciting.
Action. It's like
it did seem like because Ricky Nelson like he plays this thing and it's like the gimmicky thing where it's like the actor is speaking directly to you.
That's why I wanted to see more of him.
That was one of the. This is one of the few quiet moments from the movie Rio Bravo.
No, it's fuck you. No, it's not.
This is one of the few peaceful moments from the movie Rio. I get that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I watched that. I was like, I hope he's like one of the main characters, and he's barely in it.
Yeah.
And apparently, like Ricky Nelson, like John Wayne and Howard Hawks did not want him in the movie, just because he's the classic.
He was the classic like pretty boy like.
But I guess like he was just so like
so popular.
But like on set he was so just like he was so like kind and respectful to them.
Oh really?
That they grew to like him. Like apparently, okay, so the trailer has him like. It stars John Wayne, and he forgets his own name, and someone on camera goes, "How about Ricky Nelson?" Oh yeah, me too. It's like I heard that wasn't intent. Like he actually forgot to name himself.
Oh yeah, that's really fun. That's
it's
cool.
Like that's why
that's so humble.
I know,
that sounds so humble. You know,
the opposite of Colorado. But that I want to see more of. I want him to be the main character. Mm-hmm. John Wayne's like, "Hey, Pilgrim, I just banged this hot lady. How's it going?" Or whatever. So there's some great moments. It's just kind of like,
okay.
It was good. It's not bad at all. I want to say I didn't.
Yeah.
Like I was going.
Oh my god! With this shit again. Oh, they just keep talking. Why do they keep talking?
No. I did. I enjoyed myself. I just wanted it to be more. Like there was no stakes. Like
more pacing, like better pacing, like a little bit more of like a quick
pacing, but also stakes. Like
stakes, okay.
Like I wanted one of the main four boys to die. Like I want maybe Stumpy because there's a whole scene where like Stumpy's like, where. So like early on.
Also, I think before you lose that thought, I think it's worth mentioning that Walter Brennan has like that classic like, hey, you know,
I'm the prospector.
I'm the prospector. See, you know, it's like if anybody's doing that kind of voice, they're copying Walter Brennan.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, but go on. Yeah.
There's a scene where like the rich brother comes to see his douchey murder brother in jail, and like. He's like, you don't like me much, do you, Stumpy? He's like, yeah, you're taking the land, fuck you, or whatever. Like, was there like history between them? Like, does Stumpy have like special grudge? And I thought maybe like the brother was gonna like.
He just hates people who just like feel entitled.
Well, yeah. Well, like the way he talked to him was like there was like a special kind of like.
Oh, you know, it's like I hate you in particular.
So like I thought like the rich brother was gonna kill Stumpy, and then that would have gotten John Wayne like. And the rest of the boys to get pissed.
I feel like that was would have turned into like a Peck and Paw movie at that point. It says
a what?
A Peck and Paw movie.
What's that?
He made like really depressing westerns.
Well, but at this like, it's like they're not gonna die. There's no, no. There's a scene where like, so the bad guys have Feathers, Carlos, and his wife. What's his wife's name? I forget.
Oh my God, Consuelo.
Consuela. And there's a scene where like, oh yeah, and the bad guy breaks the bottle and goes to Carlos. I thought he was gonna kill Carlos. I was like, that's like the one guy John Wayne has allowed to help him over this entire movie.
True.
And I thought it was gonna be like when John Wayne found out they killed Carlos, then it's time to kick some ass.
So you feel like
I wanted
if
some
there had
more
been some sort of sense of like these characters can possibly die.
Yeah, where it because like right now it's just like honor. It's like be a good man, don't kill people in a bar, don't have an asshole rich brother, like because
I feel it's just a sign of the times where it's like you can't kill the star, you know. This was like
not Carlos.
But like yeah, true.
Because like if and of course you don't have to show it. They could be like, oh my God, he killed Carlos. Shit, oh my God. And then like John Wayne is like, okay, Pilgrim, I'm gonna whatever, and then like and maybe have like a scene where like Carlos is like, no, dude, you can't drink. You're trying to get off the bottle, and then dude's sad because like Carlos tried to help him. Like have Carlos have a moment with all the main guys. And then when he dies, like all the guys come together, and, like just something like that. Because like right now, it just feels like let's do the right thing
because we're good men.
Yeah, and then the movie ends.
I feel like that's just an example of like the time frame in which the movie was made. I feel like that's just like an example of like it being part of the 50s. Like, you know, it wasn't a great time for filmmaking. I guess. I feel like of the films that were made during that time, this is one that triumphs beyond. I feel the structure that is expected of this type of movie.
Yeah, I guess. But I feel like there was movies at the time that had that kind of like stakes to it more. Again, I'm not saying this movie's bad. I'm saying I liked it. I'm just saying that it could have been more.
Okay. I feel like you would like Peck and Paw in that case.
Okay.
It's a lot more complex in terms of like, you know, people having to like make tough decisions in the West.
Well, it's not even like a Django kind of.
No.
I don't want it to be
Peck and Paw is definitely not Django. Yeah, it's definitely not like a Tarantino Western.
Yeah, like I'm fine with this kind of like this kind of G golly kind of like.
It's definitely got a G golly.
Everyone's got perfect teeth. And John Wayne's clothes are perfect in color.
Can I just say that Angie Dickinson gives a really good performance in this movie? I'm sorry, this is came out of left field, but like she's really
everyone
good.
Gives a great performance.
She's really good in this movie.
Oh yeah, like there's a scene after
where she's if she's like crying, she's trying to
she's drunk too.
Yeah, but she drinks too, and but when she's like crying, she's like, I just gotta, dear me, you know, it's just like, I'm trying my best, just gotta get up and, you know, because when she's crying, she's trying to like pick herself up, she's trying to gather herself really quickly, you know.
You never let anybody help you. I can't tell what you're thinking, because she grabbed a flower pot and threw it through a window, which helped save John Wayne.
Yeah,
but yeah, like that, she's great. I love. Not Ricky. I mean, he's great, but Martin.
Yeah, Dean Martin. Yeah, he's
the shit in this.
He's amazing. In this movie.
I heard he was also like an actual alcoholic or something, or like he's going through some sort of addiction.
Okay.
Which I heard. I don't know if that's true, but I would not be surprised because he does a great job playing he's Gene Wilder in Blazing Saddles.
I see.
Like literally the same
the shakes.
He's stuff. Like, this is in that film. He's like, see that? Look at that! Wow, perfectly still. Yeah, except I shoot with this hand. It does in Blazing Saddles. It made me think that's a lot like Blazing Saddles. But yeah, he's great. I love Ricky Nelson's just kind of like, kind of like he also wants to help. Like his boss dies. It's like, uh-oh, here comes Satan. But yeah, hey, let me help. No. That part always like, oh, come, just let him help. I want him in this movie, please. But he's very kind of like, yeah, I'm the young guy. Yeah. And just Stumpy's just, yeah, here's you go, and I'm by the dynamite. I'm gonna throw dynamite. The finale.
The finale is great.
That's
when like everybody shows up and it's like, oh, is everybody gonna show up? It's like maybe not. And Ricky and Colorado goes like, maybe another girl with a flower pot. That's great.
That I like that a lot. Yeah. That's what I wanted more of from him. But that finale where it's just like, well, it's also set up earlier because his friend who the boss of Colorado comes in with like a wagon full of just, I think, water and dynamite.
Okay.
And he's like, just put it by the old barn over there.
Okay. I didn't notice that. Yeah.
But then at the end, like, they're by the old barn. It's like, oh, the dynamite. Let's throw dynamite at them.
Yeah.
So it's just like they're throwing dynamite, and they're like, okay, we give up.
We give up. We surrender.
It's like, you know what? That's fair. I would do this. It's like, okay, we're done. Stop throwing dynamite at us.
What was the last line in the movie? I forgot.
So basically, John Wayne's banging the lady.
Yeah, he's banging Angie Dickinson.
And he gets he throws the tights out.
He throws the tights out, and like, they land on Stumpy.
He's like, why can't I be sheriff? It's like, maybe someday or something.
Oh, yeah. It's like, why can't I be sheriff? Or something along those lines.
I think Colorado says something like, maybe one day or something like that.
I love that. Was a great last that was a great closer.
Yeah.
It just reminded me of like I love movies with like great closer. Movies during that time had amazing like. They had to have like a line, you know, where it's like this is like the end. Like
watch the skies.
It had watch the skies. She wouldn't harm a fly. That's Psycho. What's her name? And it's like you said, Henry Fonda says his name. And he's like, well, okay, nice to meet you. Well, see ya. That's 12 Angry Men.
Oh, that's another great movie.
He's like, because it's like, hey, what's your name? Oh, cool. Well, see you later. And they never see each other again. You know?
Maybe.
Well, no, it's just like they're completely separate. Like it's highly unlikely they're ever going to see each other again because they're part of a jury group, you know?
Yeah.
But
yeah, that is a good one.
Just great. One of the great closer endings, you know? Okay. One of the great closer lines.
Okay.
But yeah. Ben, what would you rate Rio Bravo?
I gave it 2.5.
Okay.
Just like perfectly good. Like 5. Like so, it's like 2.5 is like good for me. It's like just good. I feel bad because
2.5 for me is average.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
2.5 for me is like that wasn't offensive. That wasn't like I didn't feel like I wasted my time watching it.
So it's like the Mario movie.
Yeah. It's inoffensive. It didn't make me pissed off or anything.
Yeah. Well, maybe later I'll change it. Just like later, I'll rewatch it someday. I was like, oh, it's better than I remember. But right now, it's like, that was good.
Yeah,
that was good. Mm-hmm. I enjoyed it.
Okay.
It was like a very good feature-length version of Gunsmoke.
Okay, yeah, that's a good way of in color.
Yeah, in beautiful color.
Yeah, beautiful color.
Man, beautiful.
Technicolor. Woo! And we gotta mention the song too.
Purple light through the canyon.
Wish I had a guitar with me. That if I could play the guitar.
Melody riding to, sweetheart darling, just my rifle, pony, and me.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
You take a bite of me, get it on home, Jimmy. I'll marry you sometime.
It's great stuff. But yeah, I'd give Rio Bravo a 4.5.
Why the half star?
The half star.
Is it John Wayne?
It's John Wayne. Yeah.
Yeah. I got if dude was the main character, it would have been a million times better. For me.
Yeah.
Because
I feel like it's just like built-in.
Yeah,
flaw,
I know.
I guess. You can't really take it out because it would like make it an even worse movie.
Whoa, wait.
It would make it like a worse movie if you took out John Wayne because you need that structure with like. That's just the way the movie's built. The movie's built, you know. So I'd rather have that 1 star off than like 2 stars off, you know.
Okay.
Because I feel like if you took out John Wayne, the movie would just fall apart structurally.
I don't agree with that, but that's okay.
That's okay. But hey, that's just a theory, a game. Well, I feel like it just needs for me personally, it needs that. Okay, we need the straight man. Mm-hmm. The guy just needs to get the job done, and everybody else surrounding him is a bit more. It's like Mad Max.
Okay.
Where it's like everybody around him is more interesting than himself. You know.
I guess
that's where it derives the entertainment value and the enjoyment is from the side characters and not the main piece. Right. You know.
Well, with Mad Max, like he's more silent.
Yeah.
Usually.
Okay.
Like, John Wayne is
very vocal.
Yeah, he's like, hey, why are you working here, Feathers? You should be on the stagecoach.
Oh, that's a great line, by the way. It's like, he wants Feathers to just get out of town
for obvious reasons.
Yeah, and he like goes in and he's just like, well, I didn't leave, and he's like, I can see that.
There's some good. Well, when he says lines that are very like dry and like no shit.
Yeah,
he's great.
Yeah,
it's when he's trying to be somewhat emotional.
Yeah,
he's like, I love you or whatever at the end. Like,
yeah,
sure.
Mm-hmm.
So,
But yeah, that's
check it out.
Check it out.
It's on HBO Max, I assume.
Yeah, I guess so. It's a WB property. So,
but then again, they're taking all their shit off. You can't even watch classic Looney Tunes.
Check it on Max.
Oh fuck. Fucking Max.
And they even changed like the color of it from purple to light blue.
Damn it!
It's really funny.
Fucking Discovery. Anyway, the weed movie.
The weed movie. Dazed and Confused.
Your notes.
Yes, of course. This was a bit more off the cuff because I just wrote it down like a few minutes ago.
That's fine.
But it's fine. Okay. Dazed and Confused. Released in September of 1993, Dazed and Confused follows the life and times of teenagers on the last day of school, starting from the last few class bells to early the next morning. Notable stars include Jason London, Matthew McConaughey, and Ben Affleck. The real stars of the movie are the characters each actor portrays in the different grounded scenarios they find themselves in on their search for a good time in a land of authority and rules. Richard Linklater preceded the film with his underground film Slacker and followed up with the beginning of his Ethan Hawke, and I forget the other name of the actress, but his trilogy Before Sunrise. So yeah, what did you think of Dazed and Confused?
I liked that a lot.
Yeah.
It's a very chill movie.
It's a very chill movie.
It is.
It's a good movie to smoke a blunt watching it.
This is the best weed comedy ever made. I'm so sorry, Kevin Smith. I'm so sorry. I love you, but
it honestly is a great weed movie.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
it's a good movie. Like, it just feels like you're hanging out with the characters.
Yeah, you get these movies anymore. Like, it's just there's no real plot. I mean, there is kids want to party. It's more like a bunch of like vignettes crossing over, where it's like the kids who are getting their ass kicked for some reason. There's the guy who wants to bang underage girls, played by Matthew McConaughey.
Wooderson.
Yeah, there's the guy who won't sign the thing to join the football team.
Randall Floyd.
Yeah. There's like three friends driving around. It's like, man, we gotta live in the present, man.
Mike and Tony, and I forget the redhead's name.
Yeah, they're all just like, how come we're always just prepping for the future? Like, why can't we just live for the moment? Like that. That stuff was great. There's also the guy's parents who was like, are you having a party here? No.
Oh yeah. That's Pickford.
And like, so everyone comes to this house to have the party, but the parents are there. It's like, oh, never mind. Nope,
we're going. Got a bong in his hand.
Yeah, nope. That I like that a lot. There's just a lot of great.
Slater is like, hey boys, we got our report cards back. Oh yeah, really? Yeah, straight A's. He's like the stoner kid. He's like, you know what, maybe spends all day in shop like building bongs and stuff.
Maybe he's a good student. You don't know.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah, it's just a very kind of casual movie. It's like it made me nostalgic for a time I never lived in.
That's a good way of explaining it.
Great, and of course, the soundtrack kicked fucking ass.
Oh yeah, this has like one of the best like movie soundtracks of all time. What I love about this movie so much is just like when you watch it at a younger state, a younger state of mind. It's just like, yeah, fuck all this, fuck with the authority,
America, weed.
It was
life is short,
smoking,
man.
Yeah, and there's the main like conflict. There's not really a lot of conflict. It's just people chilling, The main conflict that pops up every now and again is the fact that Randall is the star quarterback of his football team in high school,
and he's not sure if he wants to sign over his soul.
He's definitely he's handed a piece of paper by his coaches that says I volunteer not he has to sign it that says I voluntarily agree not to
smoke weed,
drink beer, and do other things that may jeopardize the fall season.
Right.
And he refuses to sign it. He's just like, fuck
this
shit.
At first he's like, I don't know, because he's
definitely very much. From the very beginning. He's definitely very much very defiant against it.
Right.
The very first time he's handed it. Well, not he grabs it. And he's just like, yeah, fuck this shit. First time we see him with it.
He throws away, and then a guy
goes away, and Mel grabs it.
He's like, "What the hell are you doing? Picking up garbage? What are you doing?"
Wait, yeah, I love that. Where O'Bani's just like, "What are you doing? Picking up garbage? What are you doing?"
I like those little moments.
Yeah, it's this movie's a bunch of great little moments. But he has a conversation later on where it's just you're just like, yeah, fucking coaches, man. It's just but the character, there's certain character, his friends in football, Donnie, Mel, Benny, just kind of well, do it for us, man. We worked super hard through our high school days to we got a shot at state, man. And watching it from an older perspective is just it's kind of a dickish move to be oh, I'm just gonna throw it all away because but I got people depending on me for and as somebody who's run cross country, who's done a sport, and we we legitimately had a shot at state, where it's just I wouldn't you kind of it's you're no longer running just for yourself. You're running for your team. It's a team, So it's very much that kind of juxtaposition of perspective I really like about that. There's another example that I can't really think of off the top of my head, but
one thing I liked is that I don't know if this was just me. Just tell me if this was just me.
Mm-hmm.
There's a great underlying sadness to the whole movie.
Yes, there
where
is.
It's because there's a scene, as I mentioned earlier, where those three friends are in the car. Where it's we're always just prepping for the future. We're never living in them. We see the present moment as just a way to get to the future or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And even at the end where at the very end, what tells it? Okay, so the guy who won't join the football team's on the football field with his friends, and they're all just smoking weed, of course.
Randall, yep.
Yeah, Randall. Sorry, but so they're all on the team, and then the groomer goes and gets some paper to roll a joint, and it comes back with the contract.
Yeah, he's you're a third person who's telling me this today.
Yeah, and then Matt, I think it's not Matthew McConaughey. It's the other friend. He has this great speech that I can't remember.
Donnie, yeah.
And the camera moves around.
Yeah, that's a great shot too, yeah.
To me, that's the whole message of the movie. Just that whole
wow, stuck in this place.
Stuck when I'm out of here, I want to look back and say I did my best.
The best I could while I was stuck in this place.
And to me, that's just life. Looking back, you want to say I did my best. Mm-hmm. And at the end, he does say no to the slip just because
he says he might I might play ball,
but on my terms.
On my terms, and it's you'll never get me assigned that,
Yeah, which good for him.
It's you've been hanging out with those losers, and it's just Slater's just hey, Coach
it's
Conrad, me. Remember me, second period gym class. And it's great. I fucking love Slater.
He's you don't even know them.
Yeah,
and that's the whole overall point of the movie. Mm-hmm. Just this is one day in the lives of these kids. And
also, I could watch a series of these movies, but that would take away from the
the whole point is that
it's a capsule of
and life is short.
It's a little window of time to look into these characters' lives, and that's all you get. I'd rather have a movie that leaves you wanting more than something that's
okay, get it over with.
Something like Star Wars, where it's just they just dry that fucking sponge,
Right. Yeah.
Or they just wring the sponge, and it's just Jesus Christ, I can't I never want to be sick of I'd rather want more of Dazed and Confused than rather be sick of Dazed and Confused, Right. Or that goes with any piece of media.
Right.
I'm kind of sick of Star Wars,
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
But there is that great sadness to the movie.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of that great sadness, the character I was thinking of that also is that juxtaposition and perspective is Wooderson, because he's Matthew McConaughey's character.
Yeah,
he's when you watch him, he's oh, he's the cool older guy. He's you got a joint, man. Be a lot cooler if you did.
That's my favorite line in the movie.
Yeah,
he's great.
He's all right. He's seems so cool, but he's kind of a loser.
Yeah, but he's happy though.
Yeah, he's content with himself. Yeah,
and that's what matters out of it. As long as you're happy.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, and also don't bang underage girls.
No, but he's okay. So it's just there's so many rules they're gonna try to get you to follow. You just gotta keep living. The older you get, you just gotta keep living, man. LIVIN. Yeah. And I think this happened. He shot the movie at a time when he was still coping with the death of his father.
Really?
So I believe so. So that kind of resonated with his character a lot. Was just you just gotta keep living, Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
I did very much enjoy this movie.
Yeah.
I did not love it. Mm. Because that thing about the point of the movie, mm-hmm. it does come at the very end of it.
Okay.
So for most of the movie, I'm sitting there this is really fun.
Mm-hmm.
But where is this going? Because the first couple minutes is the high schoolers go and just kick the shit out of kids for a little bit, and then the girls
part of their hazing ritual,
which I did not know that was even a thing until this movie.
Yeah, it was a big thing in the 70s.
Okay, but it's okay, and then so it's all these characters connected. but I feel like there could have been a bit more of that kind of like, I don't know. I feel I hate talking about movies you love that that's missing something because I feel like an asshole. But
no, I know it's fine.
It's
called different opinion.
I know, but those are wrong.
It's called opinions.
Yeah.
Like when Mike Saklasa and Brother Me is like, opinions are like assholes. Mine are always right.
Yeah, I don't know. I just wanted a little bit more, just a little bit.
Okay.
Nothing like, don't make it like a classic film because that'd ruin the whole charm of the movie. But like, well, there's also a scene at the end when this kid goes home from drinking. He's a freshman. And his mom was like, "You get this freebie card."
The second to last like scene in the movie. Yeah.
Yeah, and I would have liked
Mitch.
Yeah.
That's his name, Mitch.
Who, according to me,
looks like 11. Looks like Millie Bobby Brown.
A little bit. Things. They could. I'm just saying they could be related. They have the similar.
I don't know why, but he gave me Edward Furlong vibes for like just like a few moments.
Okay,
I don't know why.
Yeah, it's just that kid. He reminded me of 11 from Stranger Things. Not that that's a bad thing.
Not that's a bad thing, but like.
But, I don't know.
Speaking of Mitch, there's this one scene in the movie that's terribly edited because it's outside the Emporium where they're talking about it's like his time with his sister is like. He's like, I told him to go easy on you because like she told the guys to like go easy on him, and they ended up just kicking the shit out of him with their paddles.
Because of course.
And he's just like, he's like grabs his face a bunch of times, like, no wonder they went so hard on me. It's like, for like the next like 30 seconds, he's constantly grabbing his face, and each cut is like him like, grabbing his face, because
he's so annoyed.
Yeah, but that was, and Richard Linklater I heard was like when asked about that, he was like, I don't know how that got past us. I don't know how that like we missed that.
Nah, it's okay. One thing I was kind of disappointed is that Ben Affleck just disappears.
Well, it's because
he gets pranked. But
pranked, but like that's kind of the end of his character is that like he's dealt with,
Well, no, I mean now he's more pissed than ever.
Well, yeah, but like what is he gonna do? Like just change and then what he's done?
Well, he could just go kick the shit out of his character.
Think of it this way: his character is no longer serves a purpose. His purpose was to show that like these characters could be like he's supposed to be like the ultra asshole.
Mm-hmm.
They deal with him, so now he no longer serves a purpose in the movie and can leave the movie. Because he's not a key character. He's like he's like
an antagonist.
An antagonist,
I guess. It just felt weird that because he's so gung ho. Just I want to kick the shit out of these kids, and then they get him, and I feel like he should be even more like he gets pissed off for like no reason. A lot of like you gave that kid a beer. What are you fucking dumb fuck?
Oh no, he that's Benny.
I know, but it's just that is Benny. Never mind.
Yeah.
Sorry. But it's just Ben Affleck just seems like he's kind of a psychopath.
Oh yeah, no, he was held back twice.
Yeah,
in high school. He's been
funny.
Yeah, he's been a junior for like. Oh no, I don't know. Like he was held back though, but like he's in the same grade as Randall and all the other guys. But
okay, but yeah, I mean that's a nitpick. That's just kind of like that's kind of odd, but whatever, doesn't matter.
How he just doesn't show up for the rest of the
year.
Yeah,
it's just like, well, because there's that big party. Like I feel like he'd go home, shower, and get clothes, and go try to bang someone.
Okay. But I feel like he was just too pissed off to like
maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe he just got
probably cleaning the leather from his clean the paint off his car.
Or perhaps maybe like he passed out from the paint fumes. Who knows? But yeah, it's a very chill movie. I totally get why you love it so much. Yeah. This is very much a you movie.
Yeah.
Like if you wandered into the scene at one point and just started hanging out with it makes sense. like if you just disappeared from my side watching, it's like, I'm in the movie now. It's like, oh, okay.
Okay.
Like I could totally see Noah just hanging out in this movie in the background.
That's the thing though, is that these characters feel like you're friends at this point. It's at a certain point. And like when you revisit the movie, you feel like Quentin Tarantino said this. It's like hanging out with friends, and when each time you rewatch the movie, you feel like you're hanging out, like you're getting back with the friends again.
Who of the main story, like the separate story characters? Who would be most your friend? Like, who would you want to hang out with most?
Jeez, I don't know, Slater. He's just fry-brained all the time. It's funny.
He's basically just Jay.
Yeah, he's just Jay. But no, Randall probably. I don't know.
Randall, I'd say like those three people in the car with the red head and talking about life. Those are probably my clique.
Yeah, that they're most like me. Yeah,
And
It's
also
just
the
like,
kid who was
they
the
don't
kid
like
from Stranger
they,
Things.
they don't like parties and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'd probably be hanging out with them. Yeah, with
Yeah.
Mike and Tony and
Yeah, just hang out,
Redhead.
talk about life. Like, this is bullshit,
This
man.
is bullshit, man. You ever guys? Remember you guys talk about how like McCarthy's? No, it was like
yeah.
certain president's football head injuries
Yeah.
or is affecting the economy.
There's a lot of great like what moments, and they go, no, don't
I'm
worry
getting,
about that.
I'm getting it on, but she had the head of Abe Lincoln.
Oh my
With the
god,
hat, the top hat, and the beard and everything.
I was not expecting that at first. Well, like he's talking about that. I was like, oh guys, he's gonna say like his sister or something, like something really gross. Like Abe Lincoln's like, oh, okay.
I promise not to tell anyone.
Yeah, so, yeah. It's a great chill movie.
It's amazing. It's a great hangout movie, which is why I picked the Rio Bravo and Dazed and Confused. Is that they're both considered by Quentin Tarantino to be great hangout movies.
Yeah,
there's not just like movies like hang out and watch, but like the characters themselves.
Would you consider
are
my
hanging
pick
out.
a hangout movie? Do you think?
No, because they do lots of stuff in it.
Okay, so what would you rate Dazed and Confused?
I would give it 4.5.
I gave it a. What did I give it? I forget.
You gave it a 3.5.
Did I?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Whoa. College.
People gotta stop like banging ducks in your dorm, dude. Everyone's just fucking ducks. Like, yeah.
Yeah, Dazed and Confused. Yeah.
I say check it out, especially because
It is my top. It was in my top 20. It's in my top 20 favorite movies.
it's such a wonderfully just like. It's a non-movie
Yeah.
where like just stuff happens, but there's still a.
It's still interesting
Plot.
to watch. Yeah.
It's hard to describe,
It's
but
just so well written. Yeah.
and one of the kids looks like the girl from Stranger Things, so check it out. You
And
have to
grabs-
admit he looks
and
like a
grabs his
little.
face a lot and pushes.
Yeah, like you
puts
have-
his hair out of his
You
face.
have to admit a little bit.
If you squint, I guess I've said it. Like I said, watching
It's
this,
like they have the
if
same
you
kind of
squint,
like chin and lip kind of thing going on.
All right.
I don't know why I'm so obsessed
Why are you
with
so
that.
fixated on like?
Well, I
this-
was staring. I was like, I know that kid from somewhere. I was like, that can't be Millie Bobby Brown. And then I was like, is it? No, that makes any sense. So
This movie came out before she was even born.
I know that's why I was confused. I was like, what? So check it out.
Check it out, Dazed and Confused. And what was your pick, Ben? What was your pick for this week?
Dick figures the movie
Dick figures. Why is it called Dick figures? By the way, like.
because they're stick figures, but they're dicks.
Oh, okay.
I don't fucking know.
Okay.
So I've had this movie in my back pocket ever since we started the podcast.
Yeah. Okay.
There's a few movies I have where they're kind of like this kind of movie.
Okay.
Like stupid.
Like AVGN or.
Well, that and what? No. Where it's like kind of.
I actually kind of enjoyed that one because of just how far out it was.
Yeah, that I will say that.
Because I think Film Cow is just
Film Cow is
hilarious.
just. So I guess they're YouTuber movies because
YouTuber
this was based
movies,
on like a web
Space
series.
Cop. Yeah.
Space Cop, AVGN. I have a few others in my back pocket. I'm not gonna tell you what they are, but yeah. So I was like, we're almost done with the semester. I haven't seen this movie in a few years. Why not? Well, because I picked something else at first, but I was like, no, I want to pick that will turn people's heads. Like,
Okay.
like Reba Bravo, Days and what?
Mm-hmm.
So I picked so okay. The plot. It's about two stick figures, red and blue. One's red and one's blue.
Okay.
Very subtle.
Yep.
They met in kindergarten because Red is a space alien, kind of. He came from space. And Red saved Blue from a bunch of bullies, and so, Red saved Blue from a bunch of bullies, so Blue became his best friend because he saved his life. High five. You go through this whole montage, and basically Blue is now dating a girl named Pink, and very subtle, I know, but and he was like, he promised her the greatest birthday gift of all time, but he has nothing, absolutely nothing.
Gotcha.
So, gotcha. Like you didn't keep up with the plot. So they go to the raccoon's pawn shop. Hey, do you have any? By the way, there's a raccoon that talks.
It's a raccoon that speaks in like a stereotypical Japanese accent.
Anyway, so the raccoon says, "Hey, I got a perfect gift. Find the great sword of destiny." Like what? And it's like, if you find me the sword, I'll give you the best birthday gift any woman, no, any girl, no, a woman, no, a goddess could ever ask for. You're like, okay. So they go to Japan. They meet the raccoon's son.
Son.
And
I
then-
like that though.
and then
Son.
and then his wife's son, and then his son, grandson's son. This movie's stupid, by the way. So he said, go to the top of this mountain. They go to the mountain, and they get the sword's hilt. It's just the hilt. And he said, this is fucking bullshit. And then a demon army becomes alive again. Is like, we have promised to keep the sword safe from anyone who wants to use it. So it's just a great cross-world adventure to go to Japan to get the hilt, then they go to France to get the blade, and then back home to a random mountain that just appeared for a gemstone that goes in the blade. And it's a movie.
It's definitely it definitely runs over an hour.
Yes. I remember because this was free on their YouTube channel for a long time until recently.
So what's the context? Like, what was it like an internet? Like, I know it was the internet thing, but like, was it like on YouTube?
Yeah. So it was on a website called Mondo.
Okay.
It was on their YouTube channel. It was like their most popular. I think it's still their most popular web show.
Wow. Is it continuing or no?
No.
Okay, so it's long dead.
Well, now the main character, the guy who made it, or Punham's off doing better things, like the Mario movie. We'll get back to that. Don't worry. But yeah, so basically, the main two creators, Ed Scudder and Zach Keller, I believe, they're like, we want to make a movie. How do we do that? Kickstarter. So they got, a Kickstarter. Oh, excuse me. They got a Kickstarter going, and hey, we want to make a movie, and people said, okay. It's the first feature-length film to be funded through Kickstarter.
Oh, wow.
If I'm not... First animated film, I believe.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken.
Gotcha.
So, they did it.
It's impressive that they did it. I didn't really enjoy it that much, but...
That's okay.
It's definitely got, like... I don't know. I would never, like... I was never into that, like...
Kind of humor,
I guess. So
where it's just like...
Where it's just, like, dick and fart jokes, you know?
Dick, kind of like... Yeah.
I'm not saying like I'm better than anybody else.
No,
I'm just saying that was just never really my cup of tea, you know.
Those jokes, my favorite jokes are like the more absurd, like
the absurdist humor, yeah.
Like there's a scene,
like the fact that like a Japanese raccoon. That's funny. Yeah.
And like his wife sounds exactly the same.
Wife's son, yeah.
Like,
that's why like the more like subtle things where it's just like they're all the same voice actor, yeah.
By the way, a lot of my Blu-rays, I noticed there's a lot of like audio things where like there's like off-screen audio jokes that aren't heard, including but there's a scene in the beginning when I was younger back in high school. Every time I watched that scene, I would choke myself laughing. It's when like, let's go to the pawn shop. They go to the pawn shop. It's like, whoa, they got a bunch of cool stuff. Hey, look at this hat. It's a bear trap. It's like, yeah, put it on. And then he goes to talk raccoon. It's like, so you want a gift for your girlfriend, eh? He's like, and you hear like, did you touch that fucking bear trap? He walks up. He has some bear trap blood. He's like, no, idiot. When I saw that when I was back in high school, I nearly pissed myself. Just because like the raccoon's voice is so genuinely mad. Like, did you touch that fucking bear trap? Like, and he goes, no, idiot. it's that kind of humor that I like more than like farting. Or like when they go to Japan.
You know what show does like fart joke? Does not even fart jokes, but like I guess fart jokes. The show that does fart jokes the best at Adventure Time.
Yeah,
honestly.
I don't know why though.
I don't know how they pull off. They just do. But yeah, dick figures.
Yeah, I will say, like rewatching it now years later, it doesn't hold up as well as I remember it.
Yeah, it's definitely it's 2013 humor. Internet
I feel
humor.
like if we were high watching it, we'd probably enjoy it more. Maybe. It does feel like a college kid got high and like, let's write a movie, man.
Yeah, it's just like, and then this happens, and they go to Japan, and it's all like all stereotypical and shit. There's like kaiju and stuff, you know.
I like that part. But there are things watching I think are genuinely still great. Like action.
Well, the animation's fun.
The action scenes, like they put a lot of like there's a scene where they're going across like a dock, like boats, and like jumping from boat to boat, like so the whole demon ninja army chasing them. And they have to like they take like a harpoon and shoot it behind them. They kind of keep running and like throwing, it's very elaborate. And then there's my favorite, the Paris chase sequence.
Oh,
that shit. When I watched it back, I was like, he's like, he jumps on a motorcycle.
Did you watch it like when it came out, or?
So the reason I watched it, this is random. The song that plays like Dick Figures, that's made by one of my favorite bands, Ninja Sex Party.
Oh, okay.
That's where I found because I heard
Gotcha.
because going through their stuff they did a song for the film Dick Figures the movie. I was like, what the fuck is Dick Figures?
What the fuck is Dick Figures?
So I found out, I was like, this film's great. So, but speaking of music, I love the score. Like if you go on, if nothing else, go on Spotify and listen to the score, like Raccoon Sorrow. It's like epic. And of course, the joke is that it's a raccoon. But and then there's like the Harbor Dash and like Paris Pursuit. Those tracks, I still listen to them when I'm driving, or like if I'm thinking of like a great action scene in my head, I think of those tunes.
Nice.
But yeah, and the music was composed by Nick Keller, who is the brother of the guy who made the film with Ed Scudder.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, and just it's creative. I'd say just like and just,
it's just
for
like,
their budget with like they have like I think like 15 animators.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
they work with like
that's
classic
impressive.
Flash, just like
Flash. Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. I didn't like the one thing I didn't like was the voice acting. It just got really grating at times. You know.
Okay. I
Yeah.
can see
but
that.
the raccoon stuff was fun. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought Blue had a pretty good performance. The guy who played Blue.
Okay.
Because he felt genuinely annoyed the whole time.
Okay.
It's like, I gotta deal with this fucking idiot.
But it's just kind of like the story was just like they had to like make it. It's like the whole dramatic. Like, we're not friends. It's like I thought you were my friend. It's just like ugh, you know.
Yeah.
It's like.
But I find that funny.
It doesn't
more
like. It's supposed to be like self-deprecating, where it's just like, oh, you see how like shitty our plot is, you know?
Is it?
I don't know.
Maybe.
Or it's just like it's trying to be like. I don't know. They need to have that beat in there, where it's like the second act, like I don't even want to say like the low half, like the the low point of the second half, you know, of the second act. Yeah. And
they didn't have that.
I'm trying to like talk about like story. I'm trying to talk about like structure and like story beats. We'll talk about the Dick Figures movie.
I have a big shit-eating grin on my face right now. People listening in.
It's just like. I don't know. It's like, why do I care?
Here's the thing. I felt bad making you watch because I could not. I wasn't even looking, but I can feel your aura that he is not digging this. And there's a few times where like I'm sorry.
I was just like, oh, it's okay.
I feel bad. Well, I mean, first of all, it is very short. It's not like
it's a short movie. It felt a bit longer than it was because I was just like
you weren't digging it.
Yeah.
But I know there's a few times you did laugh.
I did laugh, yeah.
Yeah, like there's a scene in Japan where they're talking to this girl, like trying to get directions. Like she's like turning to a cat girl's like, "What's wrong with her face?"
What's wrong with her face? I laughed the most at the stuff involving the raccoons.
Oh, the raccoon, like father son, and
son.
It's like and like holy shit, twist. It's like a stick figure with just a raccoon's face, and then he turned into a giant squid.
Yeah.
Well, one thing I will say. If you don't want to watch this movie, which by hearing us talk about it, that's fair.
Yeah.
But watch the behind the scenes documentary.
Yeah.
I learned so much about making film, like how to edit, music, how to like the process. I would recommend that.
It's almost like if you don't want to watch Coven, then watch American Movie, because it's all about the making of it, you know.
Coven. I was like, what?
Yeah, no,
it's not Coven. It sounds like oven.
It's called Coven. No, Coven sounds like oven, man.
Yeah, that is a good comparison. But I don't know. I mean, it's very nostalgic for me because that was one of my first like. You can make a movie about anything.
Jay Bauman said that about Pink Flamingos, where it's like, oh my god, anyone can make a movie about anything.
That is true, and I don't know. I admit I did not enjoy it as much as I did because, there's a few like okay, but I don't know. There's just something. I mean, it's charming to me. It's charming. There's effort put in. Yeah, the music is
definitely tried.
Yeah, they tried. Damn it, they tried to make a movie about stick figures, and they tried.
And they made a movie.
It is definitely a film.
A film, yeah.
And I should have picked something else.
That's okay, man.
Because I wanted to be like...
You couldn't have known.
Well, I kind of knew.
Oh.
Well, because I kind of.
Oh.
Well, because
This was his plan the whole time, ladies
Sure.
and gentlemen.
well, no, well, I mean, I wanted you to enjoy it, but I was like,
Mm.
I just want to be very different from your picks,
Okay.
just because I'm an asshole.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know. Watch the behind the scenes. I think it's really good.
Mm.
That's free on YouTube still.
Okay.
Check it out if
Yeah.
you want.
Yeah.
If you're a fan of the old Dick Figures web
If
show.
you're a fan of like early 2010s humor, you know.
Yeah. And I know that Ed Scudder, the director who voiced a few of the characters, he's like, I think he kind of regrets this movie a little bit.
Oh really?
Well,
Because it has like it's
Hello.
definitely not dated well because it's
No, it is. I think it was 2000.
2013.
Really? Oh wow,
Yeah.
I thought it was 12. But yeah, but you know what? I think it's something.
Yeah, it's definitely something, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you rate it?
I give it 2 stars.
I gave it 2 stars as well.
Okay.
Do the soundtrack, man. Go just check out the spot. I keep banging the table. Just go on Spotify and listen to the score, especially Raccoon Sorrow, Paris Pursuit, Harbor Dash, and something else.
Something else.
Yeah. Check it out or don't.
Yeah.
I'm not your mom.
Oh,
Something else.
A few more other things. Before we wrap
God.
up. So Quentin Tarantino. Going back to Rio Bravo.
Okay.
Quentin Tarantino famously showed Rio Bravo to dates.
Okay. Oh
And
yeah.
If they didn't like it, then bye date. You know, it's just like he's be like.
Seems a little harsh, but okay.
The relationship could not continue if they didn't like Rio Bravo.
What happens if they just liked it?
What?
Like if they
If
just
they liked it, yeah, they liked it, then yeah, it's like we can still keep seeing each other. But if they didn't like it, then nope, can't. Yeah. So what? A question I have is for you is, and for both of us is, what movie would you show a date, and if you didn't like it, there would be no possibility of a relationship?
Dick Figures, man.
Okay.
No. Ed Wood,
Okay.
definitely. Princess Mononoke, hence the shirt.
Okay.
I'm wearing a Princess Mononoke shirt. If you can't tell, I mean you can't see me, but yeah, Wall-E. I mean, everyone likes Wall-E, but a Godzilla movie.
Except for this one, my sister sent me this TikTok of like, what's the worst movie ever made? And she was like, Wall-E, and it's just like,
where is this person?
I know.
They're not human.
Exactly.
They are a parasite.
It's like I find flaws in Wall-E, but like I still like it. Yeah, I still really like it. Yeah.
There's no flaws. There's not one flaw in that goddamn movie.
For 5 out of 5.
Oh, My Dinner with Andre.
Okay.
So, yeah. So basically, it's my top four on my letterbox and Andre.
Okay.
Those are my picks. For,
Yeah.
If a girl doesn't like it, then you.
If I had to pick one movie that I would show a date, and if she didn't like it, then I would no longer date her. Would be I would have to say the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Or
Just
for a more tame, maybe a more tame example, I would show her
Human Centipede.
No, I would what was the thing I was thinking about? Damn, I was
Taxi Driver?
No, not Taxi Driver. I would show them. Wow, I had this in mind, but Eyes Without a Face, but that doesn't make any sense either. I would show them Blowout.
I still haven't seen Blown Out.
Blowout with Brian De Palma starring John Travolta and
John
Nancy
Travolta.
Allen. And if they didn't like it, then we can't continue dating. No.
Yeah.
But yeah, also just on one last note, what else have you been watching before we? What else did you watch last week before we were watching these movies?
Nothing.
Okay.
Not a goddamn thing.
Because of
School.
Finals.
Yeah. So should we announce our next movies because we have this picked out?
Yeah, we do, don't we? Yeah.
Should we announce them now?
Yeah, sure. Right now.
All right. Number one. Well, so it's my turn to pick two. It's your turn to pick one. For my picks, we got The Dark Crystal.
Okay.
And Hindi Game the movie.
Okay.
Our first documentary.
Yeah.
And you picked
Batman,
Mask of the Phantasm.
Oh yeah, I'm so excited.
That's a good one. We're not sure when it'll come out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
We'll
it's definitely gonna come out within like
I'll probably
the
take
following...
some time off and drive to your house.
Yeah.
And we can
because just to negate technical difficulties, just get rid of that middleman altogether and just yeah.
So we'll see when that comes out. Hopefully soon.
Yeah.
But I hope you enjoyed this episode when we talked about John Wayne, weed and
dick figures.
Yeah. I love our show.
Yeah. See you around.
Bye.
Goodbye.